Hello everyone, welcome back to MIZEco Labs. I'm Mize, and today we are going to try and clean up the mess I've made. And I think the first thing we're going to need to do to get this oil out of this pipe is put it someplace. Now, I was debating whether or not to use my old tanks that I had. These tanks, I think they hold, actually don't remember how much they hold, if it's 10 buckets or whatever each tank. It's not a whole lot. And what I'd really like is a more permanent solution for oil. So I'm thinking that I need to make a really big Zycraft tank. Probably the biggest Zycraft tank you can make. Ooh, an Enderman. Let's kill him. Anyway. Oh, he's so loud. Darn you, Enderman. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so a large Zycraft tank. Biggest one you can make. I'm going to make one in the basement. But I don't want to have to pipe all this oil down to the tank. I don't want to make any long pipes anymore. So what do you do when you want to move liquid around but you don't want to use pipes? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. And one of them is called a Tesseract, a liquid Tesseract. I love Tesseracts. They're incredible devices, but you need lots and lots of Enderpearls. Well, I'm covered there. We got lots of, well, I had lots until I liquefied them all for the Tesseract. Haha. Yeah. I went a little overboard. This transposer's full of liquid Enderpearls. So is this tank. So is this magma crucible. Yeah, got a lot. So let's go ahead and make a unattuned Tesseract. To do that, we're going to need to make a Tesseract frame. And to make a Tesseract frame, it's a diamond in the center, hardened glass around it, with tin in the corners. Oops. And there is a Tesseract frame. Now I'm going to make 6 of these. I was going to make 6 of them. Oh, I'm out of 10. Oh, did you hear that? That was a creeper in the basement. One of the turtles must have tickled him. Alright, is that tin? Yes, that's tin. Okay, so let's grab some tin, stick it in the project table, and make 2 more Tesseract frames. Awesome. Okay, so I got 6 Tesseract frames. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these frames and I'm going to stick them in my liquid transposer. And it's going to fill these guys up. Okay, great. So we have 6 unattuned Tesseracts now, filled with liquid Enderpearls. Awesome. So now we need to make them into whatever type of Tesseract we want to make, right? So I'm going to make 2 liquid Tesseracts for now. The other ones I love to use are energy Tesseracts, but we'll get into those later. To make a liquid Tesseract, we're going to need to make some pneumatic servos. We're going to need some silver, tin, and copper. Pneumatic servo is glass, redstone, and iron. Easy enough. There we go. We got 2 of those. Put 2 of our unattuned Tesseracts in. Some copper, silver, and was it iron? No. What was it? Tin. It was tin. There we go. Liquid Tesseract. Cool. So now I'm going to take my liquid Tesseract, and one of them is going to go up here on the end of this pipe here. and the other one is going to go on my ZyCraft tank. And I'm going to empty this pipe out and then get rid of the pipe. Now, if I look at the GUI inside the Liquid Tesseract, it has this little layout here where I can make it public or private access, which is great. Especially on a server, I can make it so only I can access the this channel, which would keep Darren's grubby mitts off of my oil. It's all my oil. Actually, I don't care. So I still need to set up the tank. So let me go build the ZyCraft tank, get my other Tesseract on there, and then I'll show you guys my Tesseract hard at work. See you in a few. Oh man. Oh boy. I was just about to start building my tank, and yeah, my turtles keep going through stuff. Ah. Oh man. Most of this lava is just what do you call them? They're just flowing lava. It's not the source block. So I guess a spring block? Yeah, it's a spring, I think is what it's called. So these are all spring blocks, so they're gonna disappear once I get rid of this lava. It'll just take forever. Oh well, all the more reason to get this oil tank built and get that pipe out of the way. All done with the ZyCraft tank. It's looking pretty good. This is a 12 by 12 by 12 ZyCraft tank. It is huge. It will hold 1,000 internal storage units, I think, is what the wiki says. It's the biggest tank you can make in the game, and we are going to fill it with oil. What are we going to do with all the oil? Well, I'll show you eventually. But for now, we're just going to store it. So to get oil into this tank, we need to stick a ZyCraft valve on it, which will actually make it a ZyCraft tank. Right now, it's just a block of blocks. All right, so where to put the valve? I'm always like not sure where to put the valve on the largest tank because it's an even number. There is no center block, which annoys me. There's a center line, but there's no center block. So I think I'm going to put them on the right side, or I'll just put it on the left, so it's like closest to the center of the base. So here we go. We'll put it right here in the corner. This will look nice. Okay, so out of the valve, we need some piping. So we can use liquid duct. Oh, before I use my liquid duct, we've got to tell this ZyCraft tank that it's a tank by right mouse clicking on the valve. So that looks good. With liquid duct, you need at least 2 pipes so that you can tell which pipe is going to be the input or the output. And then we can drop down our liquid tesseract right there. Awesome. Now with this in this particular case, I don't think we actually need to tell it that there's an output because the liquid tesseract will automatically push into any connected tubes. So now we need to name our tesseract. So we're going to call this oil in. That way I know that whenever I connect to this, it's oil tank and it's the incoming oil. That's why the valve is at the very top of the tank. So I'm going to make this, we'll make this number 10. And we'll add that, and it's going to be a receive only. And there we go. Set the oil in. Great. So now we can go up to my tesseract upstairs on that pipe and tell it to connect to oil in, and we should start receiving oil. because the pipe already has pressure from the pump on the end of it. So here's our Tesseract here. We'll select oil in. Notice that it's in the inventory now, or it's in the list. So all I have to do is check it, and hopefully our oil is now moving. So let's go take a look at the tank and see what's going on. Oh yeah, black gold. So if I right mouse click on this tank, we can see that this particular tank holds 16,000 buckets. Yes, that is a lot of buckets. And we already have 6,000 buckets in there. Or no, I'm sorry. That's 6,000 milli mLs, or milli MBs. Yeah, milli buckets, something like that. So we have 9 buckets in there. And counting. Awesome. So we'll get all the oil out of that pipe, and we'll probably go and tap a few other oil wells in the future. But for now, we just want to empty out all the oil in that pipe, and then we can get rid of that pipe, make more Tesseracts, and take care of this humongous mess I've made in the basement. Ah. So what's going on, man? How's it going?
I'm doing my bees thing, and I made this item called a climatizer. It changes the biomes that the bees can operate in, and it takes a whole ton of ice to make it run. And man,
So
it's such a pain. I got to go out and harvest like snow and snowballs, and then I'm compressing it into ice blocks. But
I see that.
this is really monotonous.
Well, I think there is something else we could possibly make that might do the trick for you. Have you ever
Okay.
heard of a glacial precipitator?
I have not. No. What is that?
Well, if you
A
look
mod pack.
if you look it up, it is
Looks like
part.
Tech.
Yeah, no, it's actually not part of GridTech. It's part of thermal expansion. It's a thermal expansion device.
Ooh, cool.
Anything that uses a machine frame is thermal expansion. You always know that right away. So I think we can hook up one of these next to a aqueous accumulator and get you all the ice you need.
That would be sweet.
It'd be a lot easier than running around and getting ice. So it looks like it's pretty easy. We just need a redstone reception coil, which is redstone gold. So let's make one of those. And we're going to need a piston, and luckily we have lots of pistons over here in the redstone. Well, 11. We probably need to make more of those. And we're going to need a machine frame.
There you go.
You're on it. Okay, great. So we throw the machine frame in, throw the piston in, get the reception coil in there, some copper, and some snow. Do you have any snow blocks?
Yes, I do. Give me a sec. How many do you need?
Just 2.
Let me just make a couple real quick here. Okay, here you go.
Nice. Okay, glacial precipitator. Sweet. So why don't you take that bad boy, and we should go find a... Here, let's put it over here next to our... Just for now. Next to our aqueous accumulator here.
Where do you want it?
Why don't you put it in between the 2 machines? In between
Okay.
our soul forge here. Okay, so let's see
Oh,
here.
check that out.
So it's filling with water from the aqueous accumulator, and can you just pull this ice out?
No, it needs MJs.
Oh, this thing needs power.
I've got a motor. Let me grab a motor real quick.
No, 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 no. We don't need a motor. We can just take a battery. One of the. Do you have one that's charged upstairs in your bees?
Not really.
All right. Well, we'll just take this one over here for now, just to demonstrate that it works.
Okay.
So if I let's see here. There's my wrench. If I grab my wrench. Whenever you're removing one of these cells, you always want to use a wrench so that you retain the power within the cell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I put this cell right next to it, you'll have all the power you could possibly need. Okay.
Wow.
So now it's making ice. And there you go. Okay, so you just need water and power connected to this machine, and you'll get all the ice you can possibly use.
Oh, that is so convenient. And look how fast it runs.
Yes, but understand that it's also taking out, we're giving it 100 MJ per tick. Let's slow it down to something normal, like 2. And at 2 MJ per tick, it's still cranking along pretty good. It looks like its store of energy is decreasing very slowly. So it doesn't use that much energy. That's great.
This is a really cool item. I really like the interface here. We can get the snowballs, the snow blocks, ice.
So I can just, oh yeah, you can just click on it and switch it to snow blocks.
Yeah.
Yep, and I can click on the snowballs. Will I get snowballs? Oh, that's so cool.
This is really cool.
I like it.
Yeah, nice coating.
Awesome. I'm here in the basement and I have hooked up my pump to a liquid tesseract and a redstone energy cell. And it is currently pumping into the other liquid tesseract connected to the lava tank. So eventually this pump will clean up this entire mess. So we're just going to let it do its thing. The only thing is the tank is full. So it's not pumping any lava at the moment. But as we use up lava in the tank, it will slowly pump that lava into the tesseract and into the system. So eventually this will get cleaned up. And as you can see up here, the generators are running, but the tank is just staying full because as the generators pull lava out, the pump is pushing lava into the tank. It's time to make a blast furnace. We need steel. We need steel for a number of things. Most of all, we need steel for a quarry. Darren has started making a quarry over here. We have a chest where he's laid out exactly what we need inside. This is the end product, the quarry, but it's missing the advanced drill. This is the advanced drill, and this is the regular drill. And what does everything need here? It needs steel. So to get steel, we need to make a blast furnace. I've already gathered what we need. We have nether brick, soul sand, slime balls, and blaze powder. So why do we need slime balls and blaze powder? To make magma cream. So now I have 9 magma cream, and the layout is nether brick and soul sand in the corners. So we'll put our soul sand in, get our nether brick going, and there we go, blast furnace brick. Now we have 36 blast furnace brick, and that's exactly how many we need to make a blast furnace. So we're going to put it right here. Let's get rid of all this marble that was taking its place holder. There we go. To make a blast furnace, you simply have to lay down 1 layer, 3 by 3, and then 2 layers with a hollow core. And then another layer of 3 by 3. And the last one should give us a blast furnace. Sweet. And it looks like I actually had 2 left over, so I miscalculated a bit, but that's okay. Awesome. So, blast furnaces are really sweet. All they want, they're very hungry for 2 things, coal coke and iron. So what we can do is we can just take coal coke and get a stack of iron over here and put it in. Like this. And it's going to start making steel for us. 1 coal coke will cook 1 iron ingot and give you 1 steel. So when we're all done, we'll just have a stack of steel here. It takes forever though, and this is feed the beast. You know, and this is MIZEco Labs. I want to automate this a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up my coal coke oven to my blast furnace and make it semi-automatic steel production that will then output into an ender chest and into my system. Sound good? Great. I'll be right back. I just finished automating this. We are eventually going to use and target gates here, but for now I'm just going to use redstone engines, which work just as good. So the way this works is we've got coal going into this relay, and the way the coke oven works is you input from the top, you pull out the items from the side, and you have to use a wooden a buildcraft pipe to pull the as far as I know, you have to use a wooden buildcraft pipe to pull the items out of the side. So Darren, if you could put more coal into this guy, into the relay here, great. So we can just fill that up with coal, that's great. Now, as soon as the coke oven's done, this wooden transport pipe pulls the item out and goes into this relay, which then sends it along, and I'm going to put some coal coke in there. As you can see, it sends it along here and into this relay, which then sends it up into the blast furnace. You input coal coke or whatever you're cooking with into the blast furnace from the bottom. So I'm going to put all my coal coke into here so it ends up in that correct relay. And there it goes. And we don't need to see this anymore, so I'm going to cover this up. Now, in the top here, Darren, if you could put a whole bunch of iron into that relay. There we go. Fill it up. Sweet. So it's not completely automatic. We can further automate this process later, but for now, it holds a lot of iron and a lot of coal. And these machines run kind of slow, but they're going to keep running while we're offline. Anyway, this blast furnace now is taking iron from the top, it's getting coal from the bottom, and out the side here, it's going to pull out steel and send it into our ender chest, which will then send it into the sorting system. So we've got a semi-automatic steel system going on here, which is great. Next time we log on, pretty much, depending on the next time we log on, but like tomorrow, all this iron will have been turned into steel, which is great. We need lots of steel for lots of different projects I got coming up. It has been a few hours, and I have occupied my time by cleaning up this little area here. We now have a nice little station for working on stuff. Induction smelter. I built a sawmill. They're really easy to make. We have our glacial precipitator set up over here with its own aqueous accumulator, feeding it water continuously. And Darren is using this ice like crazy in some whacked out bees contraption upstairs. I'm just trying to stay away from it because it's scaring me. So, no, I'm just kidding. That's pretty cool stuff up there. Now let's see. Next up, I've got, yeah, like I said, it's only been a few hours, and guess how much steel I've got? Check it out. Oh yeah. Stacks and stacks of steel. That's awesome. So, we're set on the quarry, considering, well, we only needed 5 pieces of steel for it. What do we need now? What do we need now? We need titanium. And the only way to make titanium, or, well, one of the best ways, actually there might be more than one way, the best way that I know to make titanium is with an industrial electrolyzer. So let's make one. To make an industrial electrolyzer, we need an extractor, an electrolyzer, a magnetizer, and a couple of advanced circuits, or one of these other kinds, which I can't make right now, and some refined iron. Well, I've already got everything laid out here. So here's my magnetizer. It's just redstone and some iron fence. So we'll grab that guy. Got a machine. We got my extractor here, which is real easy. Tree taps, electronic circuit. What else we got? And then we've got the electrolyzer, the regular electrolyzer, which is an electronic circuit, some cells, and some copper cable. No biggie. So let's dump all this stuff in here. So we got our magnetizer, we got an extractor, we got an electrolyzer, we got 2 advanced circuits, and 4, no, not iron, darn it, for refined iron. And there we go, our first industrial electrolyzer. All right, so this thing is power hungry. It takes 128 in, and we don't really have a great, I mean, this is our industrial craft setup right now. It's pretty pathetic. It's messy looking. It's definitely temporary. So, let's add to the mess, right? I'm just going to put this thing like, I don't know, how about there? Boom. Oh no, I can't do that. Well, whatever. I'll move it around and then we'll get this thing going, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Okay, so I stopped derping around and I got the generator out of the way because we don't need that thing anymore. We're running on nothing but lava. We're lava powered. So now this thing is connected directly to my MFE, so it's getting 128 per tick, which is great. And I figured out what I need to put in it to make my titanium. I need bauxite, and I already have a whole bunch of bauxite dust here. And now I just need some cells. So I think I have a few. Okay, here's an empty cell. I have one whole empty cell. We're gonna need a lot more than that, so let's throw some tin in the crafting grid here, and let's make a ton of cells. 37, that'll do for now. So we come over here to our industrial electrolyzer, drop it in, put in our bauxite, and off we go. And we are making titanium at a horrendously slow rate, but that's okay. We'll just wait on this guy, and he'll give us some tiny piles of titanium, which we then craft into a single pile of titanium, which we then need to cook in an industrial blast furnace. Yes, we need to build something else before we can get our beautiful titanium ingot. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to make a blast furnace now. Not just a regular blast furnace, an industrial blast furnace. And I don't think we have enough stuff to get that done. So I'm gonna have to go do some spelunking, get the turtles going, and that's okay because we are at the end of another episode. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.